Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a book recommendations video. It was one of my questions. I read a lot of books, so I figured why not do it? I'm honestly just gonna get right into the video, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start off. I have my list here before I get into my actual books. I have an entire box of my favorite books. I read a lot, call me a nerd. Okay, first of all, we're gonna start off with murder mysteries. I love those books. I love murder mysteries. So all of these books I'm about to tell you are by James Patterson, who has written like hundreds of books, but these are my favorite. Alex Cross and his entire series. I'm gonna list a few of my favorites, but I love them all. Mary Mary, which is so good. It is about a series of murders in Los Angeles, and they're all celebrities. The person who's murdering said people is sending emails to somebody who works at, I want to say, Hollywood Reporter, about the murders, giving details of what happened, how it happened, why they picked that person. And it seems to always be successful mothers who have kids and a husband and live in Los Angeles and are just successful celebrities. And Alex Cross is a detective from Washington, D.C., and he pretty much figures it out with the help of a few other people, but pretty much himself. So good. Jack and Jill, another Alex Cross book, is so good. He's back in D.C. I think this is actually prior to Mary Mary. But anyway, Jack and Jill is about a murderer duo, I guess, and they are killing high-profile people, senators, you know, this really famous news reporter, high-profile people. Well, there's also another set of murders of kids out of school going on in Washington, D.C. However, because of the high-profile murders in D.C., nobody's worrying about these kids, and Alex Cross finds the connection between the two. Next is Summer House, Murder House, and Lake House. I think there's more, maybe the Beach House. Some of those are all the same series. They're all different characters, but they intertwine. So good. One is about a murder of her brother. One is actually the guy like defending the murderer. It is all just so good. All by James Patterson again. Now this book I'm currently reading, so I'm not done with it yet. This book is House Rules by Jodi Picoult. It is so good. It is about a teenager with Asperger's syndrome, and he loves forensics analysis. He watches Crime Busters and knows how to do all the fingertips and has all the journals on it. And he has a police scanner in his room, and he normally goes to the crime scenes, I guess, and sometimes he gets himself in trouble because he like corrects the officers and says, no, you're wrong, this is what happened. And one time it leads to him looking a little guilty. All of his signs are telltale Asperger's syndrome, but it gets to be a little crazy, and I haven't finished it yet, but it is so good. 10 out of 10, recommend this book. By the way, I'm really congested, so if you notice that, that's fine. Next, these books I'm gonna go by really quick because they are all books that I'm pretty sure you've probably read. They are like classics or just amazing books. If you haven't read them, you have to. So, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, one of my favorite books of all time. So freaking good. 1984 by George Orwell, so good. It's really interesting to see like how they thought the world was gonna be at this time. Harry Potter, obviously J.K. Rowling. You got it. Those are so good. You have to read them before you watch the movie. So, Book Thief by Margaret Suzak. I cried, and I don't normally cry when I read books. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. That book is so good. It is like so old too, I think, I want to say. Okay, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. That book is so good, so like well written, just amazing, by Mark Twain. The Iliad and the Odyssey. I read like children's Homer version. Very good. It takes a little bit to get into it, but it's intense and I love it. Now we're gonna get into my favorite books of all time. These are all in here in this box of books. That's all I gotta say about them. So we're gonna start off with All Creatures Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful, both in the same book by James Herriot. These are honestly, I don't even know why I put this in here. It's not my like all-time favorite book. I don't really love the actual story, but it is written so well and it's a classic. You gotta read it. My next book is Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Sabine Vivian. It is so good. I say that about every book, but it really is. It's about three girls, Lilia, Kat, and Mary, and they're not friends at all, but they come together and they make up a scheme because there's one person, one of them it's a bully, ex-friend, and an almost boyfriend, like same person, that they all are are not in love with. So they had to scheme to work as a team, and it's really good. It's a super quick read. You can literally tell by like how the words that it's a very quick read, but it's really worth it. It might even take you like an hour. My next book, also by Jenny Han, P.S. I Still Love You. I like this one. This is the sequel to All the Boys I Loved Before. I like this one better, so much better. It's really, really cheesy, and it's really, I think I like it more of a comfort thing. Like, it's a comfort book. Again, super quick read, super cheesy, and definitely better than the movies. But I will say I'm impressed with how well the movies went on the books. That's what I have to say. Okay, we have 1984, George Orwell. I already told you this one, but it's so good, you have to read it. I'll just give you a quick cap. The year 1984 has come and gone, but George Orwell's prophetic, nightmarish vision in 1949 of the world we were becoming is timelier than ever. 1984 is still the great modern classic of negative utopia, a startlingly original and haunting novel that creates an imaginary world that is completely convincing from the first sentence from the last 4 words. No one can deny the novel's hold on the imagination of whole generations, or the power of its abominations, a power that seems to grow. This book is, again, classic. You have to read it like before you die. Now we're getting in there. The Party by Robin Harding. It is so good. We found this at Target, I want to say 3 years ago. It says perfect for fans of Big Little Lies. I have not read that book or seen that movie or seen that show, but sounds good to me. This book, I don't want to give too much away because it's really like twisty, but it's about a girl in her sweet 16. She's not really popular, but she's suddenly in the popular group, invites them all over, drinks, does not go well. A big thing happens. Her parents' perfect little life gets all messed up. It is so good. It is just, I cannot really tell you that much about what it's about without giving it away, but it's worth it. Now we have this book. It's called Time for Love. I've actually kept good care of it. Normally I take really bad care of books. And this book we literally found at Harris Teeter, the grocery store. And it's really good. It's about, again, this is another book that I can't really explain that much without giving away, but like, it's about one lady, she lives on the East Coast, works at a fisherman's wharf, and another lady is a CEO on the West Coast, and how like their love lives and then their lives combined. So good. Next we have A Dog's Purpose. I'm pretty sure we've all read this. Again, this is by Bruce Cameron. And this is, it's really, really good. It makes me cry. I think that's kind of a given, but 10 out of 10. Also forgot to say, this one's by Debbie McComber. Now we're getting into like the best book. Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson is like a comfort book for me. Again, this is a very quick read. Very quick read, but it's worth every penny or every minute you spend reading it. It's about a girl. Her family went to the Poconos every summer when she was little, and then they kind of grew out of it, and her father is diagnosed with cancer, and they decided to go to the Poconos for a summer, and she has to deal with fixing her problems, finding a job, the boy next door, getting friends, and it's all really good. And dealing with her father's cancer diagnosis, it's really well written, I will say. Again, this is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. Now my all-time favorite book, literally my favorite book of all time, and this is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. It's a trilogy. This book has all 3. The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. You can tell just by looking at this book that it is my all-time favorite book ever. It's in really rough condition. It is about a girl named Belly. I love her. I love her character. And every summer for her entire life, her brother and her mom have gone and stayed at her mom's best friend's beach house with her 2 sons. And it is just about how she loves one of them, and both boys fall in love with her, and she has to deal with one of them going to college, her parents getting divorced, her brother then going to college, the other brother going to college, her trying to decide what college she wants to go to, her mom's best friend, who's basically her second mom, has cancer at the beginning. I can't give too much away, but it is, I just ripped it even more. It is one of the best books I've ever read. It is just so good. Now I have 3 more books for you guys that I don't have. I actually read them on my phone, but it is Grown Ups by Marian Keyes, or Keyes. I don't know how you say it. It is so good. It's about this really complex family. you know, aunts, uncles, cousins, and all the secrets and lies between the family. Something Blue by Emily Griffin. I love all of her books as well. And I think Something Blue is the first one, but if not, Something Borrowed. No, I think it's Something Borrowed is the first one, and that's my favorite. And then Something Blue, and then Something New. I don't know. That whole series is super good. It is about a girl who falls in love with her best friend's boyfriend or best friend's best friend. I don't know. It's complex, but you'll love it. And then the next one is In 5 Years by Rebecca Serf, or Serse. I don't know how you say it. That book made me cry. It is about a lady who wakes up 5 years later. She goes to sleep after a really bad day with her fiance, wakes up 5 years later, she's engaged to somebody else, she lives in a different apartment, in a different borough, and it is intense, but I love it. The only other book I have in here is The Cat in the Hat, but that's a classic. So yeah, that is all of my books. I'm definitely doing a part 2 to this, maybe a part 3, maybe a part 4, because I read a lot of books. If you have any book recommendations, comment down below. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, go check me out on Instagram, go check my dog out on Instagram, and yeah, have a beautiful day. Bye!